Hi guys, so I am driving back from church and I was thinking, so Noni Madueke's signing from Chelsea to Arsenal has been confirmed. He signed on the dotted line. A lot of Arsenal fans were not happy. I think they wanted some glamorous signings. I went to find an old tweet. Like there are some things you write and you're not really thinking about that this player is going to play for you one day. And I remembered that I had tweeted something about Madueke. And I went back and I put his name in my search box on X, Twitter X. And it was me saying I thought that Noni Madueke had taken to his role playing with Cole Palmer Chelsea like a duck to water. I was quite impressed. There were a few games I watched him play. Him and Cole Palmer really worked well together. In fact, I think Noni scored 4 goals, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was a game against Palace, but it was a pretty decent game. And one of them had 4 assists, and I think it was Noni. Anyway, whatever the case, I watched that game, and since then, without being super excited that he was going to be a player that would play for Arsenal, because it just never occurred to me. I always thought that he was pretty decent. He's not flashy. He's not exactly Rafinha or Yamal, but this is a pretty decent player who's going to do a great job. Look at Bukayo Saka last season, the last 2 seasons. He has been so tired. He has been playing with injuries, limping. Every time he goes into a challenge, he limps away. And he needs a break. If we can have a player who's mature, who's grown up as well to play in that position. And you have to remember, Guaneri cannot really play there. He needs to be playing in the role Odegaard is playing. So to give Odegaard a break and to build his sort of rhythm in the team in that position. Not that one where he was playing with Saka. He's got some amazing goals. He's very talented, Guaneri, but he needs to lead that role for Saka and for hopefully Madueke. And I am also hoping if we get Eze, please get Eze. If we get him, that will be another option for that Martinelli role. Let's put him up there. I love Martinelli. I really do. As a person and as a kid who came up sort of at the same time as Bukayo Saka, Bukayo has gone on and he has improved his game. He has grown out of that baby. Let's look after this boy. He's his own person. He has really found himself at his play. Whereas I feel like Martinelli is still trying to sort of understand what his role is in the game and in the team. I really expected a lot more from Martinelli last season than I got. I still think he gets the ball and he puts his head down and runs into a corner, or he makes the wrong decision. He had a few decent goals. He had a few decent games, but really, I was very disappointed. I want a dynamic player, and if you can't have a dynamic player, don't have a player who's still learning the trades. Otherwise, we are not going to win the league. I want to win the league this season. This coming season, the next season, 2025-2026, I want us to be in the final of the Champions League. We almost made it until blinking PSG turned up and, hammered us. But we had injuries. Our defensive line was makeshift. Our midfield was sort of, makeshift. We had no front. We had no center forward. I don't want to make too many excuses, but the fact is, we need a Martinelli replacement. We need somebody who can play in that role where Martinelli plays, who can take over that role. In fact, I do not know why Martinelli was not played. Try and transition him out of that role. Let him play down the middle if we're struggling so much with strikers. I think he'd have better luck. I don't think he is a very good winger. He just doesn't add that extra dynamic force, the way all these like Rafinhas are adding, the way the Vitinhas are adding from midfield where they get the ball and they do something ridiculously incredible, or they're controlling play, or they're dictating the pace of the game. He can't do that. He can't do that, you know. He's still, I think, very unsure. He's almost like looking for permission to do things. Or he gets the ball, puts his head down and runs hoping for the best that no one's going to do anything. It's okay for smaller games, but in big games where you've got like the best strikers, the best defenders in the world, the best wingers in the world, you are going to struggle with Martinelli. I really want him to stay, obviously. I love him in the team and I really want him to improve. But if we're going to get the Martinelli we had last season, we need somebody else to play that role. I think if we keep him there, then forget it. My prediction will be Arsenal are coming third or fourth, or, you know, because the other teams are coming. Look at Chelsea. Look at Chelsea's team. They're not going to be sitting back waiting to finish fourth or fifth. You know, Man City, I think we can sort of discount them, but you never know with Man City. They've made some good buys. Man U, thank goodness, are dead in the water. Okay. Liverpool, who knows what they'll do? Is this coming season going to be the season where hopefully the rub of the green is not with them? I don't know, but I am very happy with the addition of Noni Madueke into our squad. We need grown-ups ready to play players. They don't have to be incredibly flashy. They don't have to be the Yamals. They don't need to be getting nominated for the Ballon d'Or or anything crazy. We need steady. Steady wins the race. And I think this guy is going to add something that will be missing, especially when we are going into the Decembers in February, when people are tired and looking miserable. We've got that extra attacking threat. We've got that extra player who can do something without sort of, look at Wane. He's a baby. You put him on hoping for the best, and it's so nice to see these young players come through. But let's be honest, none of us thought he's going to come on and it's going to change anything, you know? But he did a great job, but I think he needs 2 more seasons to grow into a player. Sort of the way Miles Lewis-Skelly has come in. He's coming from nowhere and he's sort of cemented his place immediately. There's no question that Skelly needs to be where he is. Lewis Skelly needs to be where he is. In fact, he should be playing in midfield, hopefully, the next couple of years. Right now, he's fine where he is on that left back position. But yeah, regardless, I'm rambling. But yeah, I just thought let me share my thoughts with you about this Madueke signing. I'm excited about it. I'm not upset about it. It's a good addition. We'll need him. Count my words. Yeah. All right, guys. See you in a bit. See you later.